Hello and welcome to the AIDEM Interactions. The AIDEM Interactions is today in New Delhi, the capital of India, where corruption charges are flying here and there. The Prime Minister of India, addressing his members of Parliament of his Bharatiya Janata Party, said that the opposition is ganging up because he is fighting corruption. On the other hand, Arvind Kejriwal, the Aam Admi Party Chief Minister of Delhi, he said in the Delhi Assembly that Adani, the man in the eye of the storm now, his corruption and his money are essentially linked to Prime Minister himself, and the money that Adani possesses is essentially Prime Minister's money, ill-gotten money. Then, of course, Congress leader Rahul Gandhi has also been talking about corruption. And to discuss this context, this special context, I have with me Ravi Nair, the journalist who specialized in investigating corruption in high places, who has got a phenomenal track record of exposing corruption, right from Rafale to Adani Empire stories. Ravi Nair, welcome to the AIDEM Interactions.
Thank you, Venkitesh.
I was saying corruption charges are flying. Your recent book, published in November 2022 about the Rafale,
December
2022, is called Flying Lies.
Yes.
So I think you have kind of seen this context coming up earlier. So what do you think of this atmosphere, both in political terms and as well as in terms of its crux of the matter, the corruption charges?
See, we are going through very interesting times actually, if politically and otherwise. If you look at it, at least in my memory, I'm almost 50-year-old now. In my memory, I haven't seen a government which never ordered any investigation into any corruption allegation against it or its members.
Right.
So this is the first time we are seeing that. In the last 9 years, there were many people think that there were no corruption at all. It was a clean government. Even people who are well-read think that way. That's not true. There are a lot of corruption allegations, and many of them can be easily proven. But the government is silent. Government never ordered any investigation. The Modi government never ordered any investigation or inquiry into any of those allegations. So till the government order investigation, how can you say
But
that?
I remember, pointing, especially in the Adani case, you have even kept the securities watchdog, the SEBI, as a culpable entity in this. You have said that Adani got an opportunity to meet the SEBI chief when an inquiry was ordered or when an inquiry was demanded against him. Can you just elaborate on that?
See, the context was in July 2021, this issue was raised. That was we were writing and investigating on Adani and writing about it since many years now. So in July 2021, the issue, when it appeared in mainstream media, this became a serious issue. So TMC MP Mahua Moitra, Trinamool Congress MP Mahua Moitra raised the question in the parliament. So the then Minister of State for Finance given an answer, written answer, and on that time it was said that SEBI is already investigating this matter.
Okay.
And the minister's reply also said that DRI investigation is going on into
Department of Revenue Intelligence.
The Department of Revenue Intelligence is investigating some of these allegations related to Adani Group. So if the investigation was going on since July 2021, what happened to that investigation? There is a report. And the government is saying now, after the Hindenburg research report came out, this SEBI is investigating it, and the matter is I think it was the day before yesterday, a couple of days ago in the parliament, some minister said that the matter is sub judice.
Yeah, because the Supreme Court
has taken it, and SEBI is investigating it. Okay. This is very interesting, actually. In last September and October, within the span of 1 month, in 4 weeks, it was widely reported. not widely reported, some of the
Wait.
business dailies
Yeah.
reported it. Mr. Gautam Adani himself had meeting with SEBI officials and the SEBI chairman, Mrs. Madhabi Puri Butch. There is no law as such that the industrialist whose companies are listed in SEBI should not go and meet. But it's a matter of propriety.
Okay.
That when the investigation is going on, and why did the Adani Group chairman went to SEBI and met the officials? When asked, someone told the media from the Adani Group that was a courtesy visit. So it's not that he has been called for part of the investigation.
Right.
Then what kind of
So,
investigation SEBI is doing?
what is it that you're hinting at? You're hinting that there is a
There's
massive
no investigation going on.
or is it a cover-up that is happening?
See, as far as my understanding goes, SEBI knew it since day one that these things are happening, right? For example, if we speak about the foreign portfolio investors who concentrate, their maximum investment in Adani Group companies only. There are a few of them whose investment, the total market investment, if it's 100 rupees, 89 to 98% of their investment are concentrated on Adani Group.
Okay.
And most of these foreign portfolio investment companies are very opaque. Nobody knows who are their ultimate beneficial owners. Many of them have same address
Okay.
in Mauritius.
Okay. Essentially, they're paper companies.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of. So whose money is that? So it's not that SEBI is not aware.
Okay.
So this is the precise question when we wrote. This is the precise thing we wrote in July 2021.
Yeah.
This is what the MOS Finance, Minister of State for Finance, said that SEBI is investigating.
Right. And you had a special website which you had opened to address these Adani related issues.
It's not my website.
Yeah.
It's Bob Brown Foundation
Okay.
in Australia.
Yeah.
This is Bob Brown is an MP. He was an MP from Green Party in Australia.
Okay.
So they started this platform to highlight Adani-related issues in Australia.
Okay.
And over a period of time, they found out that it's happening in a lot of countries.
Okay. Not just Australia.
Yeah, and we published those stories in Adani Watch because in India, many of the publications are not willing to publish
Right.
anything.
Right. Right.
So we don't have any option as such, and even those who are ready to publish here, they won't pay anything. See, these kind of investigation take a lot of time, effort, right? And there are certain expenses also.
Right. Right.
And they are at least ready to pay something.
Okay.
So
Ravi, you raised this point. While talking about it, you said that you raised this question. These shell companies are there, and the money is parked. You raised this question: whose money is this? That is one question. Perhaps that should lead us to what Arvind Kejriwal said in the Delhi Assembly. I don't know whether it's a justifiable correlation that we are making. That's one thing. The other thing is Rahul Gandhi has spoken about a figure, 20,000 crores. So I would want you to, as somebody who's an expert on this field, I would want you to throw light on both these things.
I don't want to comment anything on what Arvind Kejriwal said within the assembly because he said something within the assembly, so he has that immunity. Okay. And see, to be very honest, I don't have anything to prove that this is.
Okay.
So if I say something, I should be sure of what I'm saying, and I should be thorough on that. I have to have evidence, which I don't have.
Yeah.
Okay. And in the case of what Rahul Gandhi said, people are defining it in different ways. What I'm seeing is that if you look at Adani Group companies and structure, the way it is structured, it's a maze. It's very opaque. Like a couple of days ago, I wrote an article. There's a company called Vyom Trade Links. So in 2020, CBI filed a case against Adani Enterprises Limited and named this company It was related to coal import. So the CBI's allegation was that with the help of some government officials of a PSU, NCCF, Adani Enterprises rigged the tender to import coal for Andhra Pradesh Power Generation Corporation in 2010.
Okay.
And they placed a company called Vyom Trade Links Private Limited as their proxy, Adani Enterprises proxy. The investigation is still on. I don't know why CBI was not getting any evidence.
Okay.
We tracked the entire record. The company was owned by Adani Enterprises once upon a time.
Yeah.
And just after this tender was floated, the company's ownership changed, and a Chinese national called Chang Chung Ling, an interesting name for us.
Yeah.
Let us, he's known as Lingo Chang also.
Okay.
So his company in Mauritius, where Vinod Adani was also a director, was owing this company, Vyom Trade Link.
They took over this company.
Yeah, so it was related parties.
Right.
Everything is in public domain. We just took a week to investigate it.
Right.
So CBI is investigating it since 3 years. Still the case is on. That is one part. The second part is that if you look at Adani's companies in Mauritius, Adani's company structure, most of the Adani companies, the listed companies at least, the ownership structure says that promoter group companies hold a lot of shares. And all these promoter group companies are either based in Mauritius or some other tax havens like that. You try to find out the website of these companies.
Okay.
For example, Afro Asia Trade and Investment Limited, one company's name. So, these kind of a lot of them, Gardenia Investment Limited. So if you listen to these companies' names, you will think that, oh, these are big-time investment companies. But try to find out the website of these companies. Many of them doesn't have any.
Don't tell me.
Yes, and
so it's completely brazen.
It is. It is. These are paper companies.
Okay.
And these companies keep investing a lot of money in Adani companies through FDI, the Foreign Direct Investment route.
Okay.
We tracked from 2016-17 to 2020-21. These companies invested around $3.4 billion through FDI route into Adani's own companies. Adani's own companies sent money to Adani's own companies in India through FDI.
These companies are located
in different places, like they are in Singapore, they are in Mauritius, they are in Dubai, UAE.
Okay.
They are in Cyprus.
Okay.
So most of them are tax havens. All these named countries are tax havens.
Yeah.
So there is one company called RVG Exim DMCC. It's a company's name in Dubai. This company sent millions of dollars to one of the Adani company. So I tried to find out. Luckily, this company has a website. So I went to the website. It's a single-page website, just single page. This company is owned by a prominent international businessman, Vinod Adani. That's it.
Okay.
And they are into international trading. What trading, man? So when these companies invest a lot of money into Adani companies, what are the actual businesses of these paper companies, where they are generating money from? And if they have to invest billions of dollars, all these companies put together, or these individual companies sending millions of dollars through FDI into Adani's own companies, they should have some source of revenue, right? And they should be making that kind of profit to invest in these companies, right?
But that's not recorded.
No, it's not there. Nobody knows.
Okay.
So what SEBI is doing, what the government is doing, the Ministry of Finance should investigate these kind of things. For example, if some terror organization or if some narco trafficking agencies park their money in these companies, and these are rooted into Indian companies, so this became a legal challenge.
Yeah.
So why these are not investigated?
Right.
We don't know whose money is that.
So, but coming back to the specific allegation of Rahul Gandhi.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, if you look at
No, but
$3.3 billion,
what-
if you look at $3.3 billion, it's around 27,000 crores on today's value. So, this happened over a period of time. So, the exchange value varied.
Yeah.
So, approximately around 22,000 crores. I assume that's what he said.
Right. So that is a figure that is a plausible figure.
Yeah.
But of course, it has to be proved by investigation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would come back to this political slugfest. Modi is saying this. What do you make out of this? I mean, see, the point is, I remember the times in the 1990s when Narasimha Rao kind of played this whole Hawala allegations against some of his opposition leaders and also some members of his own party. So, do you think something like that is going to work out? Do you think that that more and more opposition leaders could be convicted of corruption charges? They could be jailed. Is there a game plan that you are saying?
That's what is happening, right? That's brazen now. It's happening. See, whenever any allegation comes against the BJP or its members or its government, in state level also, no investigation ordered. The best example we can point out is that the construction, the association of the engineers or the contractors in Karnataka openly alleged that the government is taking 40% commission. Right.
And of course,
and they have kept writing to the Prime Minister. So it's almost a year. And on that time, Srinivasan Jain, NDTV's, he exposed and he's spoken to them, and it's in public domain.
Right.
So it's not that somebody was whispering behind.
Right.
And he has shown the copy of the letter which was written to the Prime Minister.
Right.
Did he ever utter a word on that? They're saying that BJP is
These are specific things, which was.
Yeah, these are specific. It's there in public domain for everyone to see.
Yeah. But there is also this capture of 8 crore rupees from the house of.
Recently.
Yeah.
So, what is happening? The guy came out on bail.
Yeah.
In a couple of days.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And who is speaking about that now? Is the media speaking about it? Nobody is speaking about it. When it comes to corruption of BJP and its leaders, nobody is speaking about it.
So you think that this is being pursued brazenly, and it could reach a situation where where we have something like a regime where that opposition is a large number of the opposition leaders are in jail for one crime or the other.
I don't know whether a large number of opposition leaders can be jailed. It happened up to an extent in Maharashtra.
Yeah.
But in other places, it's not that much. Okay. Though there are enough cases against enough opposition leaders, the central agencies are unleashed on them. So they're creating a situation where nobody should speak against anything against Modi or his government.
And most of the times the charges are kind of very far-fetched. Like I remember the Anil Deshmukh case.
Yeah.
Yeah. It started with an allegation of 100 crores, and when it came to FIR, I think it was allegation of 100 crores. Then they said it's 5 crores, and finally, when the charge sheet was filed, it was 1 crore or something.
Right.
And apparently, the judge got very angry. So basically, it's also this far-fetched, but then it all sticks, no? Because in the media is.
I'm sure that you might have seen the video clip which went viral of Bennett and Coleman, the Times Group's Samir Jain, and India Today's Arun Puri and Kali Puri, right? So, what to say on that now?
Coming back to two more questions. Coming back to the book, how's the book doing, The Flying Lies? And
we almost sold 3,000 copies.
Yeah. How did you decide to work on that actually?
See, I started writing on Rafale. I never wrote on defense deals before. Okay, I was more into political economy and those kind of things. One day I was on early morning flight to Mumbai, and I picked up a copy of Economic Times from the airport. And so there was an article on Rafale. So my co-passenger, the person who was sitting next to me, he was looking at the paper and he said out of the blue, "ये मोदी जी ने बहुत बढ़िया किया." I just looked at him. Then he pointed out it was something on Rafale. So this was in February 2017. Yeah, somewhere around that time. So that phrase, it stuck in my mind. Like, no, ये मोदी जी ने बहुत बढ़िया किया. So I started to speak to him, try to find out his background. The gentleman was a trader from Gujarat. He came to Delhi from Mumbai to meet someone here, and he was going back. So he has nothing to do with defense. He has nothing to do with capital purchase of defense forces. So I asked him, how did you know ये बहुत बढ़िया किया? So he said that देखो इतना साल हो गया, कांग्रेस गवर्नमेंट ने कुछ किया है, सो मोदी जी ने एक दिन में कर दिया. That triggered the investigation.
Okay, so that's how you became an investigative journalist. Before that, you were looking at political economy and things like that.
No, I mean
No, because I remember even your political economy copies had a penchant to look at things from an investigative perspective.
Yes.
Data driven journalism.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But this was the first time when Rafale was the first time I really looked into how the politics work, especially on defense purchases. So that's how.
Right. Anyway, Ravi, I think it's been a very enlightening conversation. I'm sure that we will have we'll have more to share in the days to come.
Sure.
Because you are somebody who is at it. I mean, this is something which that not the kind of work that everyday journalists do. I mean, you really try to go deep into the subject. You go behind the scenes. And of course, wish you all the best for your future work. And of course, the AIDEM will continue to interact with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.